What's up, young lady? How you doing today?
All right, I'm doing okay. How are you?
I am fantastic. My name is Troy Jermaine Johnson. What's your name?
It's Judaea Morris.
All right, now, Judaea Morris. We're going to call you Dia today, though,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Awesome.
Dia, please.
Dia, let the people and the listeners and the watchers know. First of all, let the people know we are in the North Carolina Central University TV studio. We have the best in the world in the name of Miss
Felicia and Casey Hicks, TV studio manager.
We got Bro Troy and
Bro Kurt.
And we in the building, man. Durham, North Carolina. Both see you stand up. Dia, how do you bless the world?
Ooh. I would say I bless the world by blessing the world. I believe that we are blessed to bless others. So every chance that I get to be a blessing to somebody else, that's what I do. I'm a connector. I connect people to help people find what they need or who they need. So I would say that's how I bless the world.
Awesome, awesome. You are having the second, correct me on this,
Yes.
huge event at Dorothea Dix Park at the Flowers Field.
Yes.
Tell us about that event. What's the name? What can we look forward to? And who is it for?
Okay, so we're having the second annual Raleigh World Fest at Dix Park, and it is for everybody who enjoys art, who enjoys music, who enjoys networking, connected with nature even, and just having a good time. Just that really wholesome, like good feeling you get when you're just around good people. So we're going to have different performances, some dance performances. We're going to have panels. We're going to have some music performances, some DJ sets. We're going to have vendors, food, outdoor games, some mental health screenings, self-defense workshop classes for women. We're going to have some gardening 101 classes to help with that sustainability factor. It's going to be a lot. I don't even know if I said everything, but...
Boy, we forgot the main one. Broco in the building.
Yes.
At the main stage, curating courageous conversations about personal development, entrepreneurship, mental health.
Yes.
You gotta know. We'll also be doing interviews similar to this with some of the performers because that's what we do.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Welcome to Community Spotlight, brought to you by Broco TV Productions and hosted by the Bros. Join us on this dynamic journey as we shine the spotlight on local agents who are making a profound difference in their communities. These remarkable individuals bring creativity, wellness, and purpose to the forefront as they tackle challenges, nurture their families, and celebrate successes. In each episode, we explore their unique stories and initiatives, offering an inspiring glimpse into the world of community transformation. Get ready to be inspired by those who are leaving an undeniable mark on their neighborhoods. Tonight we will be highlighting Judaea Morris. Judaea is a lover of her community and the curator of the music celebration festival known as Raleigh World, hosted at Dorothea Dix Park in Raleigh, North Carolina. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
What made you get into that? This is year 2. You can do anything in the world, but what made you get into that space?
To be honest, it was just kind of a dream that I had like overnight. And I woke up that next morning, I went into my office and I had just got this really huge whiteboard. It's bigger than me. And I had leaned it up against the wall because at the time I hadn't been able to put it up on the actual wall. And I just started writing, like, so I wouldn't forget that dream. I just started kind of putting pieces together and kind of creating this festival. And my inspiration, I would say, would be the Russ Parr Back to School Tour. I don't know if y'all familiar with that. But when I was younger, Russ Parr used to have a back to school tour where he would bring like all of the hottest artists to Raleigh, and you could get free book bags, but it was a free concert, and it was just really dope. My cousin at the time was dating a popular DJ, I won't say the name, and I was able to go backstage and meet these artists. So I was meeting celebrities. I was like maybe 12 or 13, and one, knowing how to be around celebrities and not freak out was a skill that I learned at an early age too, and just seeing like what they really look like, and it helped me to understand that they're regular people, you know, like they're regular people, but connecting them with the crowd and having that community impact portion too was super dope. So that was my biggest inspiration, but I started it because of a dream.
I love it. Why are dreams important, right? There's so many people that we talk to that their dream has been deferred for whatever reason, whether we've allowed life to continue to keep life in, or circumstance to happen and felt like we couldn't move forward.
Yeah.
Why is your dream important, and how do you continue to push forward in that dream?
I think my dream is important because of the impact that it has on the city of Raleigh. The city of Raleigh, there's a clear difference between the city of Durham and the city of Raleigh when it comes to events for minorities and like in that culture there. It's a huge gap where you come to Durham and it's a really rich culture, and these events are happening all the time. And it's crazy because I've grown up in Raleigh all my life and I never knew about the things that were happening in Durham. And it was always just kind of negative connotation, like, don't go to Durham. I remember my mama saying, don't go to Durham. And now as an adult, and I'm hearing about these things, I'm like, what do you mean this festival, and all these things have been happening over these years, and I feel kind of left out a bit. And so just to see the vast difference between what's happening in Durham and what's happening in Raleigh, to me, is what makes my dream super important, because I'm trying to create a new culture in the city of Raleigh. And it's extremely lonely because I feel like I'm the only one, and there's a lot of pushback. And so just being able to kind of be that person that's willing to take on that pushback, to take on those comments, to take on just that super big task is extremely important, because if I can do it and be successful even a little bit, then other people who are inspired will also add to that cause, and then maybe we can change the trajectory of the events in the city of Raleigh for our people.
You're breaking down barriers.
Yeah.
We're still talking about first in 2023.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. You know what I appreciate most, though, is that someone has to do it.
Yeah.
Why not you?
Yeah.
I admire the work. I admire the gumption. I admire the fortitude. What would you say to women, especially black women, especially young black girls, that are thinking about fostering that same path? They have a vision, they have a dream, they have something inside of them that they know is bigger than themselves.
Yeah.
It's easy to get consumed by that.
Yeah.
What would you say to those people?
I would definitely say, first, understand your why, because that's really all that matters at the end of the day. You're gonna want to quit. It's probably gonna happen a couple of times in the middle of the night and nobody knows. Everybody's at home excited for your event to come up, and you're at home saying that you're gonna quit. You're gonna cancel the event. So being able to reconnect to why you're doing this in the first place is gonna be extremely important. And also just having, I hate to say have thick skin, because I'm kind of tired of this conversation of having to be strong. We're women, we shouldn't have to be. But you will have to have a certain amount of resiliency and be able to bounce back, because you're going to get no's, you're going to fail, everything's not going to go right. So first, coming into it, knowing that you're going to have all these different adversities is extremely important, because then you'll be more prepared for the journey that you're about to take on. And it's extremely hard. But it's super rewarding as well when you start to see the fruits of your labor.
So living in that space, fruits of your labor, this is the second year. Let's go back to the first year.
Ooh, okay.
After it was over. Because we talk about this all the time. People don't realize how much work goes into these kind of events. What's one thing that you can say you look back on and say, I'm really proud about this?
If we're talking about the first year, if I can be extremely transparent, I was not proud at all about anything. I went to a super deep depression for about 3 months. I had an office. I had my husband dump all the stuff from the festival in my office. It was stuff piled up to the ceiling in my office. I locked the door in my office and didn't go back for 3 months. I could not see what I had created being inside of it, even there on the grounds. I spent most of the day just frustrated. Things didn't go as planned. A lot of my vendors who I paid to bring certain things like my furniture for the VIP area just decided not to show up. I had a lot of companies that reached out to me to want to work with me that decided last minute, like, we're not going to show up. We're not going to do what we said we were going to do. I went into it knowing I was going to be losing tens of thousands of dollars that day, that morning. So I wasn't proud about anything when it first ended. I was just happy that it was over and I could focus on something different.
So on the Bro Code, we're really big, thank you for all that, but we're really big on personal development. And one of the things that we move in this spirit of excellence, and I hear that same spirit of excellence coming from you. The part that's difficult about that is not everybody else moves in that spirit of excellence.
Right.
So we've been very key in surrounding ourselves and being able to talk through that process with each other to unpack so we don't feel what you talked about.
Yeah.
Who is in your circle that you have that same alignment with situations as you just spoke on?
To be honest, I personally don't feel like I have anyone that has the type of, you know how they say they got that dog in them? You know, I don't have anybody around me that has the same energy as me. I do find it in random moments with different people, right? But not on a consistent basis. I follow E.T. I listen to a lot of his talking a lot, and that gives me that fuel. I do have a group of goal friends that I can come to, and you know, they can, but I feel like there's nobody on the same level as me that could kind of give me some feedback and direction. Everybody is just like, you know, clapping, this is amazing, this is awesome, and I'm kind of like, oh, how can I make it better, right? And like just having that sounding board and that person that's like pushing me to do better. I don't have that because everybody else is like, oh, you're doing amazing already. And it's kind of like, you know, so I personally don't think I have that person right now.
So we're leaning into mentorship in a way.
Yeah.
So you don't feel like you have somebody that may have been where you are.
Yeah,
that you can lean on.
Yeah.
With this process.
For sure.
How long would you say this process takes for you to set this festival, this whole event up?
It really takes a year for sure.
Wow.
The first year we kind of I started planning in February. That's when I had the idea in February, and we did it in August. It was extremely quick. But it really does take a year. Now that we have that, you know, the first year out of the way, of course we have some structure already in place, and then I have more time to just make it better and start to really like curate activations that were going to be beneficial for us and the attendees and businesses as well that took part in the festival. But it does take about a year.
So as a woman, first of all, thank you. Do you feel like you're respected? So as you go, you're dealing with a lot of different angles and lanes and all the things. Do you feel like you get the respect that you deserve when you talk about the businesses, the vendors, the city, the guests, the performers? Do you feel like they're like, yeah, she's about her business, I respect her? Or is there pushback?
There's pushback, for sure. There's a couple of people and a bunch, of course, that's super respectful and grateful and appreciative, but there is a lot of pushback. And it's kind of weird in a way. It's like, you know, people I don't know, you know, I get cussed out because I don't approve vendor applications. Just being told, no, you can't do this, but there's other people that can. And the process wasn't any different. I filled out the right papers. I talked to the right people. I signed the dotted line. I paid the same fees, right? So it's not a lot of respect. And I don't know, I don't want to pinpoint to say if it's just because I am a woman. I feel like a lot of it might have to do with me being new in this space too, and just not kind of having that person to kind of hold my hand through the process and say, hey, go about it this way. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm kind of being met with gatekeepers. So, but yeah.
So this year, you already have mentioned a lot that's going on.
Yeah.
What's one thing that, if you could pinpoint one thing that you think is going to really impact anybody who walks into that event, what would it be?
I'm going to have to say the community panel. So last year, we had a community panel in the media area, and it wasn't on the actual festival stage. And that wasn't my idea, but I let somebody else, you know, take lead on that. And what ended up happening was everybody was drawn to the panel and nobody was at the stage. And exactly what I thought was going to happen happened. And so I feel like the difference between my festival and others is that community portion is extremely important to me, and it shows. And so the people that I attract, they also feel very passionate about the community portion too. So they want to hear that panel. They want to take part in these intellectual conversations in the middle of a festival. And it just makes sense for my audience. So I think that would be the most impactful thing this year. People really hone in and sit down and listen and take part of that conversation. I think that it'll give everybody a nugget that they can take with them moving forward.
Yeah. On a lighter note, there's a theme. There's a certain way that there's a theme of how we dress it.
Okay.
Talk to us about that.
How we're dressing.
Yeah.
So I love the idea of like festival clothes, not the super nudeness like your electric carnival festivals, but just like the colorfulness of it, the different pieces that come together, the mix of old and new. I really love that idea. So I love it when the attendees really take advantage of that moment and really pop out with a super nice outfit. I remember an artist last year came, his outfit was so amazing. When he was walking down the field, it's a couple acres, everybody was just looking like, who is that coming? Like, and he wasn't even performing. People thought he performed. The media was taking pictures of him. There was pictures of him everywhere, all over social media, because he took advantage of that moment. So to me, that's the fun part. You don't know, which way you turn, what you're gonna see, and it's really exciting. So yeah.
What's going on, Juco?
So, Dia, this segment right here is one of my favorites because we get to celebrate people. We get to give them flowers, but not flowers.
Okay.
First of all, we want to thank you for coming on our show.
Thank you.
We secondly want to thank you for caring enough to do what you're doing. Again, I mentioned earlier, people don't realize blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a lot. And, when you're the face, you're touching everything, either, 24/7. So we want to thank you for that. But we're going to give you one of our $2 bills. You said your word was resilient.
Yes.
Why did you choose that word?
Being a teenage mom and kind of coming up through the system, welfare, food stamps, all that, being told like this is all you're going to be, or just people were supposed to help, having that energy with you as if this was all you were going to be. It kind of fueled me to just be more and to prove them wrong. And so I've always been resilient, from teenage mom, divorced. I was divorced at 21, and just bouncing back and recreating my life. So that's the word I like to cling to.
I love it. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for the authenticity of sharing a little about your life.
Yeah.
We're going to give you our You Matter $2 bill. Your name is on the front.
Yes.
We wrote your word resilient on the front, and the whole team, everybody in the room signed for you. We just want you to have a keepsake for what you're doing.
Thank you.
And we will see you on Saturday.
Yes.
We're so excited for this. So
I'm excited too.
yeah, thank you for letting us be a part of it.
No problem.
Yeah,
Thank you.